Okay, we're gonna cut the fat quarter for ripple effect. So you want to make sure that you have at least 20.5 inches in length, and you can start with your salvage on the far side or the near side. It doesn't matter. I'm just going to square up this corner to start. I'm going to make the most efficient use of my fabric. So I'm going to start with the corner here, because this takes every bit of your fat quarter.
And notice that Trish is left-handed.
I'm sorry. I'm
Don't
sorry.
apologize for being left-handed.
Okay, here. I'm going to switch to being a righty for a minute.
Oh, you do you.
You're going to complain about point out my left-handedness?
Well, just so people aren't confused. Because left-handed people can live in a right-handed world, but righties
Right-handed
have
people.
a lot. They have a lot more troubles.
Okay. So this is the way the fabric is oriented in the pattern. And we're going to cut the rectangle from this corner, the short side going this way and the long side going that way. And it's 10 3/8 by 13. So to do this, I'm going to go like this. So sorry, I just flipped that and turned it and everything. This is that lower corner. And my 13 is going this way. So that's what, 6.5, right? So 6.5. I'm trying to get this pretty close to that. You probably do this completely differently than
Well,
you
I actually have a 15-inch ruler.
And you would use that, yeah. If I had that
that
laying around, I would use it. If I could find it at the moment that I needed it, that's what I would do. And then 10 3/8.
But if you don't have a large ruler, this is the way you do it.
This is how you're going to do it.
And you're being careful not to cut all the way through.
Right. Good point.
The end
you want to stop, because we're going to need every little bit of that. Okay. So so I'll put this back the way the pattern shows it. So there you go. So we cut out this rectangle. Now put that aside.
And that's the main body.
This is the main core of the apple.
The core of the apple.
The center of the block. All right. Next, we are going to measure 18 inches up. I usually don't use the grid of my cutting mat for much, but this is a good time to use it because it's close enough. So you want to go 18 inches up. Just put your ruler here and cut to this corner. And this is going to be our outside arcs. Now, these are missing pieces on opposing sides. So when you go to the next page, you'll see this is the first one that's shown, and you want to fold this right side out.
Do you trim it to 6 7/8
yes, you
first?
do. But you know what? I'm going to do that when I fold it, just because I have the length.
Okay.
Good point. I'm going to square this side up. And you want to stay to the longer edge. So cut from the longer side, because you want every little bit of this fabric that you can get. And 6 7/8. Right there. And again, this is our long side. This is the shorter piece, so get rid of that. This one we're going to fold the opposite way. You want the removed edge over here, but this one we're going to turn. I gotta figure out how to do this. Dun, dun, dun. Wrong side out with the missing piece over here. And again, I want every little bit I can get, so I'm just going to trim off this salvage first. And then 6 7/8. And then we want these 15 inches wide. And again, I want as much as I can get. So I'm going to measure 15 from this side up to get rid of as much as I can over here. So maybe I'll just
good time to use the grid on the...
Yeah, you could use the grid on that. I just swapped rulers here real quick. So whichever. Yeah, you can use the grid on your mat. I'm just going to switch to this ruler real quick and go 15 inches. And then same with this one. And you don't even need a very wide ruler to do this because you're not going to have a full cut. All right. So again, this one is right side out because you want this little missing corner on the upper left side. So this one has to go wrong side out in order to get that missing piece on the upper left side. Good? Okay, so you want to start with the junior template set, piece B, the background piece, and you need to measure 4 1/4 inches over from this side.
And that's going to be your smaller of the template
Yeah, the
sets.
smaller of the two. So what I like to do is I just put this down and I use the grid of my mat, and I 1, 2, 3, 4 1/4. And now you have a few things to line up because you're looking at this drunkard's path fold line, and this needs to be lined up to your fold. And I need this cut at 4 1/4. So 1, 2, 3, 4 1/4. Make sense?
Or you could, conversely, if you don't want to use your mat, you could just take a pencil.
You could mark it.
And mark it.
Yep, but I am lazy.
No, you're using all
You're industrious.
You're using all your tools to their full potential.
Okay, now the bad thing is this: you can't cut the whole curve, but I'm going to show you a trick in a minute how you can mitigate that. So cut as far as you can, and then just fold that back and move this so you can finish your curve. So leaving this in place, what I do to make this go faster is I just get a piece of washi tape. We didn't have that here, but we have an extra pink vinyl strip. And I just make my own fold line.
Oh,
right
that is
there.
Very, very clever.
You know, I'm nothing if not lazy. So now I'm going to use that. And now I don't have to move it anymore.
Wow. That is a time saver right there.
I should have told you about that earlier.
Yeah. Thanks for hiding all your secrets from me.
I try.
Making me struggle.
Oh, you're right. We don't use this one yet. Now we're going to go to the original template set, the larger one, and the opposite piece. So this is piece A, or template A. And this one's easy. You're just going to line up the drunkard's path fold on your fold and all the way to the edge. And cut that. And then while we're here, I guess I should do all right-handed cutting next. You're going to take the original template set piece B, the background piece, and you're just going to cut from corner to corner. So just doesn't matter where you line this up, the curve is the same all the way across. So just corner to corner and cut that. And now you have the first background arc. So every fat quarter you're going to get 2 background arcs and 1 center piece. Okay.
And relatively no waste.
Yeah, very little waste. Okay, now we're going to go to our other one. So again, I'm just going to line this up because I still need to mark my 4 1/4. So 1, 2, 3, 4 1/4. And now I'm going to use my tape to line it up.
I am in awe of this tip.
The other thing you can do, I think this is the other thing I started doing while I was cutting, is this side's always going to land at this piece. So you could always just mark here, like with a piece of tape, 4 1/4 here, and mark this, and then you could just use that instead.
Same thing. Yeah.
Same thing.
So either mark the template or mark
Or you can mark your board, but just mark it with
mat.
tape, something you can take off easily. Don't want to ruin your mat. Okay, now I switch my hands a lot, so I'm going to try not to do that this time. Flip your fabric over if this is how you cut. Now the problem is you got this thing going on. So I can just turn this over. That's what I do when I have this issue.
Mhm.
Or you could go this way and that way and cut it like that.
And that's what I do.
So, and this will seem tedious, like maybe the first couple, but then you'll just get into a rhythm and it goes pretty quickly. And I cut one fat quarter at a time.
Yes, do that. That is good advice. I tried to do 3 at a time stacking, and 2 of the 3 were not as accurate as they should have been.
Right. And it's a pretty forgiving pattern because of all the curved piecing. But yeah, and I'm kind of, if there's a shortcut, I am on it. But this is one I don't really do shortcuts for because of that reason. So anyway, you'll end up with 2 arcs and then the centerpiece. Now for the centerpiece, go ahead and cut this one too while we're at it. You're going to fold it hot dog style, right? Isn't that what they taught our kids? So you have your long length here.
Your school taught your kids that. I learned that from you.
Oh,
I've never heard that before.
I heard it from my kids.
That's funny.
So this is going to be the same thing. So again, if you have another piece of tape, you can mark it. So line up your drunkard's path fold. This is the junior template ruler, and it's piece A. Just line it up to the cut end. Pull that back and finish your curve. And when I did this for mine, I just brought it back to here and put my piece of tape right there. So I had a pretty long piece.
It's brilliant.
I'm sorry,
It's brilliant.
We should have made these videos before you made it. And then same here. I feel like I'm going backwards right here though.
Well, if you're ambidextrous, you can do that. I flip it over so I can do it the same way as I did the original cut.
But you flip it over how? So you flip it over this?
No.
Because you would cut with your right hand.
I flip it over that way.
This way.
Uh-huh.
But you cut with, this is cutting with your left hand then.
Oh, well, see, I'm standing over here. My perspective is
so
off.
you're cutting with your right hand.
At any rate, I flip it somehow.
You can turn this upside down and then cut it
Yes.
naturally from there.
Yes.
Again, this curve is the same all the way across, so it doesn't really matter.
After the first cut. Yeah.
Oh, too bad that almost squares up, but it's not quite close enough. Okay. So there we go. There's the center. I guess that's upside down. Sorry, I used white on white. It's what I had left in my fat quarter pack. And then your 2 border arcs. And next we'll work on the accent strip.